renewed sense of energy around this building?
Do you feel it? I should ask you that. You know, sometimes when you're in it, it's like looking in the mirror and saying, you know, have I lost weight? And you never see it. And then all of a sudden you see somebody you haven't seen in a while. You say, hey, have you lost weight? You're like, really? I have? You can't see it, so I'm going to ask you that question.
There's definitely an excitement
What
around
you think
here.
it is?
New staff, high expectations. I mean, what do you attribute it to?
You said you felt that. I never said I felt it. I'm asking you. So you said you feel that?
I mean, the expectations are there for a great season. After the college football playoff appearance again, you've got Tom Allen who's come in and maybe refreshed, re-energized things on the defensive staff.
What you think? You feel it?
I feel it.
You feel it? Do you feel it?
I think so.
You feel it? Well, you feel it?
A little bit.
I feel a little bit.
I guess I feel it too. You know, expectations, beginning of the year. Anytime you have something new, it's cool. You know, Christmas time, you get that new toy, it's exciting. So, you know, we get a chance to, you know, especially defensively, you know, the way we played last year wasn't the best at all times. So, you know, you get a chance to, you get a fresh breath of air and get a chance to do it all over again. And so that's exciting. It is. So it is a buzz. It is a buzz.
Talking about new toys, Will Heldt, just now that you've had half a year with him, well, I guess not in the last couple months, but kind of what you expect out of him this year now that you've seen him.
Man, I just expect Will just to come in and just be who he is, man. I think his leadership has been unbelievable. I think what he's done for the room, not only as a football player, but how he lives his life off the field. You know, how he trains, how he takes care of his body. You know, I think it was just something that those guys can learn from. And, you know, being an older guy, anytime you bring somebody, especially here, you bring somebody in new, it's always a freshman. So now that freshman is trying to learn from those older guys. Now we brought in an older guy, and now everybody's trying to learn from him, and he has some different ideas because he's been to a different place. So I think it's been really cool. So I'm expecting a lot of great things from him.
It doesn't happen that often, like you said, around here. What has that been like to have a guy who comes in who's ready to go? There's not a giant learning curve like so many of the new faces that come in on the D-line.
It's been good, you know. Like I said, I've only been back, 1 year, so it's been refreshing just to have a new face, another older guy in there to go along with some of the guys that we already have in the room, and like I say, some of his experiences. And sometimes if you're just in one place, you only see it from this angle. But now he's bringing a different perspective. And now he can say, hey, we did it this way, or we had success here doing it this way. So, how about trying it this way?
With all the experience you've had, what have you seen from guys that have that elite skill set, like T.J. Parker, and to make sure that he maximizes what is an amazing amount of God-given ability?
Never satisfied. Always trying to, find that extra edge. Whether it's, do I think I should do extra sets in weight room? Should I run extra sprints? What do I need to study? How can I get better? Not being satisfied. Some of those guys, that are good, they're not all of them not hungry. All of them don't want to be great. They're just happy where they are. But you get a guy like TJ, Will, those guys are pushing each other and they're trying to, they compete. All of them are competing, but they're trying to find that extra edge. What can I do? Just give me that a little bit more.
What makes TJ so much different? We saw him in a couple games up in Charlotte. We saw him play at a level that was out of this world. Like, where can he go? What does he need to do?
Oh, he has a lot of work to do. He has a lot of work to do. He has to continue to not only just learn his position, but he has to challenge him now to learn the whole entire defense, to know where everything fits, not just the front. Understand the linebackers and understand where the secondary is fitting, why they're saying some of the things that they're saying, and hopefully bringing that entire puzzle together so he can actually see the entire picture, and then he'll know why we're asking him to be here, to be there. So I think that's where he has to take his game, is to that next level is just here. The physical tools are there. He needs to take this part to another level.
What do you see out of Darien this spring?
Man, I tell you what, man. He, I I'm proud of him. You know, this spring he has some stiffness. He has some things that we asked him to work on. And man, this off season he did it. And when he came back this spring, he was a different guy. I mean, he was playing with his limp, and he's strong. I mean, he's really strong, and you know, he's starting to settle down in his position. He's starting to feel confident about what he's doing. And he still has no defense. He's still, you know, that's the area he has to grow. But man, the ceiling is high for this guy if he just continues to grow.
Where did that coaching begin with Markus Dixon this spring? Kind of a guy that came over from offense. Where did you begin with him to kind of get him used to playing defensive end?
Well, I just dropped him in the grease from the beginning because I wanted to know if he just wanted to be there to say he played defensive end or he really wanted to play defensive end. So I did everything I could to make him change positions, and I just drove him really, really bad, and to make sure that's what he wanted to do. And I told him if he could put up with my craziness, he'll be a pretty good football player. So far, he's putting up with my craziness, but he hasn't seen all of it yet, so he's gonna get another little dose. But he's definitely. I think he's in the right position. First of all, I think he's a guy that cares. He loves Clemson. He loves his teammate. He plays with toughness. And he does have some physical attributes. So it's up to myself and the rest of the guys to pull that out of him to get it, because you see it every once in a while. The light, you know, it's spark, and now it's up to us to make sure that the light switches on at all times.
Where does Jahiem Lawson fit into this? And there's been some spurts, like you said, you know, what you were just talking about. I mean, where does Jahiem fit in?
I think Jahiem can fit in anywhere he wants to. I think he's one of the guys that give us a lot of twitch off the edge and rushing the passer. Jahiem just have to believe in Jahiem and know that Jahiem is enough.
Chris, what was from your point of view the recruiting process with Will Heldt out of the portal? Like, when did you first see his film or learn about him as a potential prospect, and how did that go?
Oh yeah, that was interesting because it's the first time I think here in a long time that went out to a guy high profile like that, and just identifying. First, you just see what you see on film, and that part checks the box. And then now you have to go back and you have to do your homework and find out as much as you can about who he is, what ticks him, and what makes him go. What kind of guy is. You don't want to bring no bad dude into your room, because we have a really good room, not only as football players, but we have really good guys in our room. And it was fortunate enough that Brick Haley was his coach at Purdue. So Brick Haley and I, who coach here some years back, you know, he and I have a really good relationship. So we just hit him up and said, hey, tell me about this guy. And, you know, he raved about him. But the first thing he said, man, what a great dude. And once he said that, I was sold. And so, you know, hey, the recruiting process starts.
Coach, I apologize if you answered this already, but just how special can TJ Parker be?
I think he can be really good, man. He, like I say, he needs to take his game to another level for us, just knowledge of the entire defense. And I think the other thing he has to realize that, you know, all his expectation to depend on his teammates. There's 10 other guys out there with him. So I don't want him to go out there and listen to everything that's being said about him and feel like, you know, he has to do it all by himself. Just make the plays that come his way, and that's enough.
And how do you approach that relationship knowing he's got these expectations after the season? How do you kind of interact with him knowing all that?
I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change who I am, how I do it. So he knows that from the first day I came in here, I'm not going to change. I don't care if you walk on or you TJ Parker, Will Heldt, Jahiem, Cade Denhoff. Everybody's going to get it's equal opportunity with me. You know, I don't play those games.
What's the plan for Ari coming in? I don't know where he is.
You know, Ari is going to continue to bring him along, and you know, we're blessed. We got some guys in our room right now that we're not totally relying on him right now to come in and be that dude. So we feel like we can take our time and bring him along and not rush the process.
Can he start camp, or is he been cleared to start?
I'm not sure. I think that's above my pay grade, man.
Yeah.
You know who I am. Man, it's a Texas group, and it's all the former coaches that coached at Texas with Charlie Strong.
Okay.
And so he's in that group text.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm talking to the kid, and Purdue. And I'm like, oh, snap, great coach there. So I called Rick, and he's like, Rick, man, talk about this dude, man. He's like, yo, you can get him, man. This guy's a great kid, great player. You don't know. And so I think he had a good relationship with Brick. And so once Brick, I said, Brick, you need to call him, man, and tell him who I am a little bit, give him a little background. So Brick called him, gave him a background of myself and this place. And I think it was a really good fit with his family, his mom, his dad. I think it was a really good fit.
People talk about him as a finished product art, but if you
No.
go to the film, he's not.
No.
Like,
No.
he's older, but there's some room in the
No.
particularly the run game to.
Yes. I need guys that will stick their face in the fan. Volunteer.
Yeah.
Till we get to that point where we'll stick our face in the fan, volunteer, we got a long ways to go. So we got some guys that we be like, hey, you sure you want me to do it? You sure? That'll stick their face. And then we got some guys that's, we gotta get it there. We gotta get it there. As a group, as a coach, as everybody. And we're willing to stick our face in the face and don't flinch.
You rode Mayo pretty hard through the spring, by our anecdotal evidence at least. That's usually a good sign when you're coaching somebody hard, that you expect big things out of them long term.
So we want him to see it. Sometimes these guys don't see it. They don't see it. So it's up to me to paint a picture for them, to show them. You know, this is what's there for them. You know, whether that's clips of himself, clips of other guys that have the same skill set that he has. You know, this is what you can be. You can't see it. Sometimes they got scales in there. And they can't see it.
What is he up weight-wise? Numbers are kind of confusing with
That's something. I think he's up to like 65, 70. He's a big dude, man. He still looks skinny.
Yeah.
He's a big dude, man. Big man. You don't realize how big he is. Like from a distance, you see him, be like, yeah, that's a big dude. But when he like walks up on you, you just, I feel it. Big dude. We got some big dudes in our room.
The issue for him, not issue, the challenge for him always be playing with leverage at that height.
Yes, always gonna be an issue. And he has to get to the point where I'm not thinking about playing with leverage. I'm playing with leverage. Because if he's thinking about playing with leverage, then he's not thinking about the job at hand. Or the job at hand become the second thing when it should not be. It should be number one. So all that part is coming with showing him the picture, unclogging his head. It's like a computer. They laugh at me because my phone gets jacked up, gets slow. And they're like, Dad, you got 30 pictures of the same thing. Once you erase some of this stuff, you got 5,000 emails. Once you go and erase it, if you do this, it'll free the phone up and maybe it'll operate faster. Well, that's what I do with my guys. I give them what they need and I try to cut out all that other fluff so they can process faster. So, yes, I'm a tech guy.
Good to see you got an old man phone.
There you go, Coach Tech. I just got this one. I had one, I guess I had the one lens or something. I guess that was old, it wasn't cool. So my family was like, hey Dad, take this picture. So I go like this, it's like, Dad, you only have one camera. I'm like, yeah, it's just one camera on the phone. They're like, nah, I'm supposed to have 3, so I'm cheap too, so wife made me get there's 3 cameras in one. So it's all good.
You've got Heldt, you've got Parker. Who's that second group? And how do you find that second group?
That second group, I have a lot of candidates. Parker's not a starter yet.
Okay.
We just assume he's a starter.
Okay. So how do you continue? Is it difficult to continue to motivate somebody who assumes that they're a starter? Does he make that assumption?
All I want to play. So I'm not scared to say sit down. I'll sit you down. There's nobody bigger than the program, including myself. When he's finished, whatever that is, whether it's this year or next year, there'll be another guy wearing that number. And when he leaves, the program's going to keep going. So nobody's bigger than the program. You know, we had Devon Bowers here when I was here the first time. Really good player. The program kept going. And here we are, we talking about T.J. Parker. Before him, there were other guys that we were talking about. So the program's going to keep going. And as a coach, you have to be, in my opinion, you have to coach them all the same. But your good players, you have to coach them just as hard. I can't let him get away with anything because of who he is. You know, as soon as I see him doing something, I'm smacking him. They say you shouldn't kill you shouldn't use a hammer to kill a fly. Well, I do. Because the reason why I use a hammer to kill the fly is not because of that fly, it's because of the other flies. So if I use that hammer and they see that, whoa, he used a hammer on him, what's he gonna use on us?
How has Heldt assimilated himself within the group?
I think it's a credit to the guys that was already here. And we have so many good dudes. And I think the guys are so welcoming. It just made him felt real comfortable to be who he is. I think he's a really, really good guy that works hard. I think one of the things that probably won't be talked about as much is just the way he takes care of his body. Still got a body. I mean, takes his shirt off now. You married?
I am.
Hey, don't bring him over to your house. If he does, tell him to keep his shirt on. I said it before. Joe brother, he eats well. He takes care of his body. It's just unbelievable. And I think that part he's shown some of the other guys, TJ, even Cade Denhoff. Because Cade, you know, before when Cade gained weight, he always had that little gut down there like he was a beer drinker or something. And now Cade has actually put on weight. Did I touch a hit a button or something?
I was pointing mine.
You know, with Cade, he's gained weight, but he doesn't have that little kangaroo pouch now. You know, so I think that part of the game that's Will has brought to the room. Not only, and then just how he works. That goes by his business. He's an older guy. He's mature. You know, so it's been really good for the room.
Who's the leader in that room?
I think they all lead in their own way. I think Denhoff is a leader. He probably will snap at the guys. He'll snap at all of them. Denhoff will. I think TJ is a leader. I'm just trying to control his because TJ is so, you know, so level-headed. And sometimes he lets it get to the point where he just pops and it just explodes and he just, So I'm trying to teach him how to, you know, do that part. I think Will's a leader. I don't think Will, he's more of a behind the scene. He may grab a guy and say, hey man, you gotta do this, man. So he's not gonna call you out in front of everybody, but he will pull you to the side. And then you got other guys in there just leading their own way. But to be a leader, man, you gotta be able to, not man, to be a leader, you have to be able to follow. And so that's some of the things that I'm challenging TJ and those guys with. I know you say you're a leader, but you think a leader has to talk all the time. You don't have to talk all the time. Sometimes the best leaders listen and learn and just if you ask the right questions and if you listen, people will tell you everything you want to know. But if you just yap, you never get a chance to hear what they're saying. So I'm just saying, hey, listen when other guys are being corrected. Listen to what's being said to them, but also listen and watch how they respond. And then after that, then you can go into, hey, this is what's going on.
I wanted to ask you about Mayo, just his development and his progression. Seemed like he took a little step in the spring.
He did.
And where's he at right now, you think, going into camp?
Man, I'm expecting Mayo to have a good year, a good camp. If he continues on this path that he's going, I think he's understanding his body. He's such a big guy. I think I was telling somebody else earlier, he just have to learn how to play with knee bend and play with leverage. And that's the hardest thing that he'll have to learn is, he's 6'7", just playing with good knee bend and good leverage.
Does he remind you of anybody you coached before?
I've never coached anybody as tall as long as he is. Not in college, but he's a big dude. He's big and he's long. We got some long guys out there, man. I'm behind a little small basketball team. Brunel better watch out.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It kind of reminded me a little bit of, and I know this is high status here to say this name, but a little bit like Gaines. Like he had that raw to him, but by the time he got done not saying to you, you would know better than me. So.
Gaines can run under this table full speed. Mayo can't quite do it yet.
Wanted to ask you a recruiting question also. In today's world, you guys invest, like you did before, invest so much time in a young man, and he wants to get here, but other things, other distractions, other things in this world send him somewhere else. How frustrating is that to know that, maybe a kid maybe not making the right decision, or maybe he's not doing the right thing in his best interest at the moment because he's chasing something else?
I'm going to flip it. How do we know that it's not the best thing for him?
You got feeling? Experience?
So if I've been around my son longer now, but at that time of his recruiting for 18 years. And here's this guy, or men and women, that's been around him for 2 years. How can the men and women who's been around my son, not all the time, but just sometimes they see him, sometimes they call him, how can they tell me that their opinion of where my son can go is greater than mine? Because they think that? Because they talk to my son on the phone? Because my son came and watched a football game with them? So they don't know anything. We think we do, and we think we get a family and we try to study the family to make a decision. But recruiting, they're always going to put on a face. We're always going to be a face. Both sides try to be as authentic as possible to get to this relationship. So the way I look at it, and this is how I do in my life, my walk with God, is that if I'm recruiting a guy, I want God, I'm saying, God, let me coach who you want me to coach. Who do you think that I can have that effect on? Not only as a football coach, but who can I have that effect on as a man, as a Christian man, a believer in you? Who do you want me to touch in life? Who needs you? Bring them to me. if I can't do it for them, or I'm not the right guy for them, that they need to hear at that specific time, don't bring them in. So when I take that approach, when I take me and my feelings out of it, I'm good with it. Because now I'm saying my faith and my belief is so strong in God that God ain't gonna bring me somebody that He gonna let me have. So God is actually saving me from something, or saving Him from something. So it wasn't meant to be. Well, who am I to say that
That wasn't the right place.
I can't, if I'm saying what I'm saying about God and I truly believe it, I can never go back and say this is the best place for me. Because now I'm saying, God, you were wrong. But we know, if we're believing, we know that He's not. The devil says something that's unbelievable. He said, God never says, oops, my bad. And I should have. Man, I knew you was the guy for it. I wasn't. I'm not. Now I'm saying it. I'm saying that personally. I'm not saying Clemson. I'm not saying Coach Sweeney. I'm not saying Coach Allen. I'm not saying the forum. I'm saying me. I wasn't. And maybe if I wasn't here, maybe somebody else was in this chair. Maybe it'll work out that way. So I have something to give to TJ Parker, to Will Heldt, to Jahiem, to Katie, to Ari, to doggone all of them. I have something specifically that I have to give them. That's why they're here. That's why I'm here for such a time as this.
What's been a difference so far?
Man, you like my nephew.
Might be in
What's up,
How
now?
you doing? What's been a difference between Coach Tom Allen with Coach Wes doing so far? What's your experience with Coach Allen so far?
Man, you know, I love Wes. Wes my guy. Wes was here back in 06 when I first got here. So I think the biggest difference with Coach Allen, you know, he's just more seasoned. He's a little bit more experienced. And I think that's helping the room. And so that's all I pretty much want to say about that. I feel like if I say anything else, I'll be disrespectful either Coach Allen or Coach Wes. But I love Wes, and I have nothing but respect for him. He's always been good to me and my family. I love him.
Just some of the run defense goals last year. Just how's that been motivating the team so far this spring entering preseason practice?
I think just seeing the issues, and having answers and being able to fix it and attack it. So I think everybody's on the same page with how we're going to fit runs, and from the back to the front, all over. Everybody knows their job.